Hey folks, Brian with Risner Cutlery here. Today we're going to show off and talk about all these great Finch knives that'll be on sale for 20% off starting Monday, April 22nd, 2024. Let's take a look. We'll start things off with the Runtley XL. It's the bigger brother of the original Runtley, one of Finch's first releases, and one of the largest knives Finch has ever made. It's got an oversized M390 Wharncliffe blade, titanium bolster and pocket clip, and it comes in a few different handle materials, this one being a Bliss Blue swirl carbon fiber. If you're looking for a no-nonsense oversized flipper knife, here you go. Okay, now for something a bit smaller. This is the McCoy in Ivory Carta. It's a knife that's very easy to carry in the pocket with a 154 cm Wharncliffe blade and titanium pocket clip. These are great little EDC blades to carry. They're small enough that you won't even feel it, but still big enough to handle 99% of your day-to-day cutting tasks. If the Ivory Carta isn't your thing, then we also have these available in Cocobolo wood handles that are listed individually on our website, so you can pick out the one that you like. If you really want to make a point, then the Stinger might be up your alley. This is the Ebony wood handle. It's a really dark wood with a bunch of texture in the grain, but it's actually pretty smooth to the touch as well. This is another 154 cm blade. It's a mix between a spear point and drop point, I'd say, and the blade tapers down to a nice sharp point. The Ebony woods are the only Stingers left on the shelves now, but during this sale you can get one or any of these other Finch knives for up to 20% off. Is there a doctor in the house? Well, there can be if you pick up one of these holidays named after the doc himself. Ghost Green G10 was all the rage a year or two ago, and it's still showing up on a lot of knives. This is one of Finch's first releases from 2020, and we're almost sold out of them all, but we still have a handful left if it appeals to you. Next is the Cherry Bomb, and we only have 3 or 4 of these smoke resin handle models left. This is another nice little compact EDC knife with a great looking handle, a well done pocket clip, and a nice pointy 154 cm blade. These are perfect for cutting through a bunch of packages or light duty slicing, and just like the McCoy, it's the right size to carry all day without it bugging you. Moving on, next up we're looking at a Finch Flint. These are a bit newer than some of the other knives we've seen so far, just coming out at the end of 2023. This is the copper tone carbon fiber handle, but we have them available in Ghost Green G10 and Kyanite Lava Flow as well, so be sure to check out the different variations. I like the copper tone though. I've always enjoyed the resemblance to a topographic map that these handles have. How about some blue and yellow? The Halo was designed with first responders in mind and comes in this blue G10 handle, or red if you prefer. It's a really thin, lightweight knife that's meant to be used and not just kept on a shelf. Unlike most Finch knives, this one doesn't look particularly flashy, other than a touch of yellow on the liner, which makes sense considering they made it with police and paramedics in mind. So if the Halo was inspired by first responders, then the Shiv was inspired by prison. It's a small, lightweight little knife that kind of looks like a prison shiv when it's open, hence the name. Unlike a typical shiv though, the Finch version is made from quality materials and assembled with an attention to detail. Finch used 14C28N on the shiv instead of their usual 154 cm. They're both pretty similar, but the 14C28N is a slight upgrade in my opinion. Remember the McCoy from a couple knives ago? Well, this is the other half of that story, the Hatfield. Both were named after the Hatfield and McCoy families of Appalachian fame, and you'll notice this is a gunstock handle as a little tribute to that historical conflict. This one is in 154 cm with the Canyon Red Micarta handle. Whether you side with the Hatfields or the McCoys, they're both great little flippers, and at 20% off, it's a great time to pick one up. This one might be a bit different. It's the Chernobyl Ant, and it's a little bigger than the Hatfield, but not by very much. We get a 14C28N blade again, with a satin finish as well. This is a sodbuster style knife, but instead of an old school Micarta handle, Finch has gone and put these resin handles with the copper streaks in it, and it's a really unique look for the knife. But what really makes this knife stand out is that the resin glows in the dark, especially if you use a UV light, like I've got here on my fancy flashlight. We only have a handful of these left, so if you think the glow resin handle is cool, make sure you jump on it. Have you ever had a knife and thought it was too small, that the blade wasn't big enough, or that it was too lightweight? Well then the Buffalo Tooth was designed for you. This is a big chunky flipper with Cocobolo handles, a titanium bolster, titanium pocket clip, and an oversized spear point blade. The Buffalo Tooth isn't going to be for everyone because of how big it is, and that's understandable. but if you're looking for something a bit on the larger side, this could be something to keep in mind. Okay, we're almost done, just a couple more. This is the Reciprocity. It's a Mikarutai wood handle and 154 cm blade put together into a sleek little flipper knife. These wood handles are all very different. Unlike the Buffalo Tooth, which had a pretty consistent grain, the Reciprocities all have their own personality. To make it easier for you guys, we've gone and listed them individually on our site, so you can take a look through them all and find the one that you like. Okay, this is the last one today. It's the Lucky 13 and Cocobola wood handles, and they're also listed individually on the website for you to look through. This one here is actually number 13 of the Lucky 13s, which is why I picked it out. Well, that's all I've got. Remember, the Finch sale begins Monday, April 22nd, 2024, and almost all Finch knives are going to be 20% off for a limited time. So head on over to Traditional Pocket Knives and check it out. As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.